What's up, y'all? What's up? I'm back. Your boy, Leader Johnson, your host with the most, so have a toast. Listen, man, we here. I've been real busy, man. Villanova, a lot of recruiting going on, campus visits. Shout out to Cal Neptune, who's now not the coach of Villanova. Shout out to guys Dwayne Anderson, Ashley Howard, Mike Nardi. They had a good season. They had a tough season. Really, they had a good season. I mean, better than last season. Better recruiting class. Better transfer class. We will talk more on the second segment we got because I got another coming on of Villanova Radio coming from Foul Leader Sports. Now, I'm kind of a little pissed, man. I'm a little pissed. I'm a little pissed, man. I'm a little pissed because the Stephen A. Smith, LeBron James situation has gone a little too far, man. And I have to tell, I have respect for both. I have respect for Stephen A. Smith. I have respect for LeBron James. Have total respect for these guys, man. But to be honest, in all actuality, man, there is a right and a wrong. And I gotta come back and we gotta go to the beginning. LeBron James, Bronny James. You know, I do my thing for 247 Sports. And Bronny James has been a top recruit for a long time. I think what's not been respected is how good he has been all these years as a recruit. Can we make our run toward that? Bronny James, 6'4", 210, big guy. Number 28 in the nation, 7th in California, 6th as a combo guard. He's been that guy as a prospect. And for people to say, I got to come back here. I got to come back. Because for people to say that Bronny James, the people that say Bronny James is not a good prospect, it's kind of crazy. I have to be real about things. He's not an NBA prospect. I mean, there's been a lot of people who came out. Lou Williams was a second-round pick. I mean, it's been so many. Sebastian Telfair, as good as he was coming out, what are we gonna say about that? Like, are we saying Telfair was better? As good as Telfair was, are we trying to say that he was a better prospect than Bronny? We know Sean Livingston was a tall point guard who came out. Okay, there were guys who were good enough to get drafted who didn't get drafted. Now there's no such thing as a guy that really wants to come out as a high school guy. He does that 1 year and he goes out. And Bronny could have came out. He could have, the crazy part is the Bronny went through the high school process when he didn't even have to. So all y'all talking that mess, he did what he had to do. Now you're talking about he's not a high school prospect. He's a top 30 prospect. He made the McDonald's All-American. Some people say, "Oh, because he's Bronny." Man, dog, if you look at him at Sierra Kane, he was a winner. He performed against all the high competition, and then he gets in the high school All-American game. He performs against the high competition, draining threes in people's face. Like I think it's real crazy that they're looking at him with this microscope that they don't look at nobody else with. All right, let's fast forward. First, my first point was to say he doesn't deserve. He's not a talented player to be considered for pro level is retarded. Like that means you never knew basketball. You seen this guy play. If you've seen him play, you cannot say this guy doesn't look like an NBA player. Now, where he's drafted is something different. But we're talking about an NBA player. What people say is opinions on everyone. You have opinions on the number one pick every year. You have opinions on people every year. If they should be number one, they should be number 2, 3. If they should come out, if they're ready now. But the thing is, that's an opinion. But are they NBA players? Do they look NBA player ready? Where they are, will there be a role player? Do they look like NBA players? For a person to say, now to say you don't look like a lottery pick, okay, that's an opinion. I felt like the guy he played like a lottery pick. There's a lot of guys that went in the lottery, including Michael Carter Williams. There's a lot of people that went in the lottery that didn't look as good as Bronny James looked. Now, as far as how he looked at USC, the man came back recovering off an injury. he didn't get extended time like you think he would. He had to, play within the system that they had. It really was if you looked at it, I mean, look at Isaiah Collier. He could have been better at USC. So if we're talking, Dennis Rodman's son DJ went there, and we're talking about these guys didn't look like their USC team was not coached right. Isaiah Collier, he should have been a top 10 pick. If you put him in the right system, they're looking at him like a top 5 type of pick. But now that he goes to USC, you totally look past him as one of those players. It's crazy. And let's fast forward to the discrepancy between Stephen A. and LeBron. They've been having this for a minute. I always thought there's been some hating going on, but LeBron James wouldn't be. I mean, you wouldn't be who you are if you don't get the hate you get. I'm pretty sure Jordan got some hate, but LeBron James is the most hated superstar I've ever seen in my life. He's done nothing wrong. He hasn't gotten any trouble. He's not the womanizer. They're not talking about nothing. He's great with his family. I mean, this is the perfect fucking athlete. The perfect fucking athlete. And you mean to tell me you try to find shit wrong? I remember when he was out with Mr. I didn't know that was Jeannie Buss. I didn't know he was sitting in the crowd. It was 2 ladies, and everybody made this, who was he cheating with? Who was he laughing with? And Savannah got to be the strong. Savannah is number 1. Man, that is the queen of queens in entertainment. The shit, I know she has the sideline shit. I'm his mama. The sideline shit she got. The shit you hear about your son. Oh, my God. What the hell is going on? So now you look at Stephen A. I have so much respect for him. I'm an analyst, writer, not big time. So you look at people like this, like, yeah. But I don't always agree with Stephen A. It just is what it is. That's just like family or friends. If they're wrong, they're wrong. And one thing for sure, 2 things for certain, even since he was with Stephen A. Skip Bayless, Stephen A. Smith, they always antagonize some things. Well, sometimes Stephen A. is taken up like, dang, you always got to go at Skip. You can't go at him like this. Sometimes he's done that. He's done that. Now, Stephen A., let's just fast forward. You've had, ever since the Bronny has been mentioned of going to the NBA, Stephen A. has been like, what are we talking about? So now he gets to the NBA. And one thing I've heard in this situation that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. It's not about Stephen A. It's not about anybody in Bronny's camp, nothing like that. I've heard that people say, it's real crazy. He's stopping another person from going to the NBA by his draft selection. What the hell? That means he wasn't good enough. There are 60 picks. And now in this situation, in this era, in this day, in this time, in this era, this time, you have undrafted free agents getting those bags. You got people coming and skipping high school. There's an option to skip high school and get a G League contract. That has happened. You can go to the NBL now. It is so many different ways you can get a bag now. So we stopping who? If he's good, he's going to get picked up or drafted. So you just basically admitted how shitty of a good of a player he is. You're hoping, somebody does a pity pick. Okay, we're going to see what he can do, if he can make the team, or put him in the G League and see if he develops. If he's one of those guys, maybe he's just not good enough. He's just not. Because guess who else didn't get drafted? Justin Edwards. 60 picks. That doesn't mean that it's Bronny's. You're going to give Bronny the Hova. Okay, so if Bronny don't get selected, then somebody else, and then Bronny and Justin don't get selected, who fault is it then? No, it's just product of interest. This is what we got to deal with. Product of interest. Product of interest. That's what I say. Product of interest. If people don't want you, or if they don't have you in the plans, you're not getting drafted. Justin Edwards was a top 3 pick in his draft class. Top 3. Top 3 pick in the draft class. So you're telling me top 3 pick in the draft class doesn't get drafted. Now, we got to go. I just want to stop before I go to the Stephen A. LeBron thing, just for a little second and say, GMs are really messing the fuck up. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. What are they doing, man? Justin Edwards, look how he's clowning with the Sixers. Oh, the Sixers, but he's still getting off. You put him with a team or somebody else. If he's good, really, he should have been a lottery pick. I always say he should have been a top. I say he's one of the most NBA-ready young bucks to come out. Now, if you look at what he did from Kentucky, he could have been better. But I didn't say not most NBA players, but most NBA-ready players, but young bucks. What I mean, like, you talk about one and done guys. Justin Edwards, look what he's doing. Dunking on you, hitting three-pointers. He has a very, very mature long-range shot. That shot is nice. Very nice and smooth. And he's aggressive to the whole. This guy's going to be good. Philly's going to surprise teams. Next year, Philly has a plan, man. We're going to talk about that later on. But now, let's go to the fast forward again to Stephen A. and LeBron. Well, Stephen A. said some things about LeBron's son. And I'm going to say where he's wrong at. He's very wrong. Now I heard Mace on It Is What It Is say that both was wrong. No. Bro, this is out of the question now. We're talking family. He's going to only defend his family. There's no wrong in that. I don't care what you're saying. You want to be right. You want to make this right. You know who Mace trips me out about? Mace, most respect to Mace, and It Is What It Is, Cam, and Treasure Wilson. Listen, Mace have a tug of war with his damn self. Because it be times Mace be all, then he'd be like, 24 hours to live. Just think. Listen, Mace is aggressive sometimes. Remember when he was talking shit about Jay Prince? But then he was like, I don't deal with street niggas, but you come in street. You could have just shut the fuck up, let that man say what the fuck he's going to say. Then there was a time Cam, he was like, no, killer, get him, killer. No, you know what? But then Mace talks about, well, God says, Mace, you are a trip. And it's great to have you got now to talk from jail to Yale, no doubt. But Mace, quit with that bullshit. This is his son. And he's getting personal because it seems like y'all making him a topic. Why are y'all making him a topic? He wasn't the number one pick. Why is he a topic? That's the first thing. Stephen A., that's when you're not doing your job. He's doing the job to you're basically saying that you're coattailing LeBron James. That's what you're saying. You're saying that you're not only trolling him, you're stalking him because you are Stephen A. Smith. You don't have to make a gimmick or now you're putting him on your shit so you can have him on your list so it can make you bigger. That's what you're doing. Bronny's not a number one pick. He's not starting in nobody's lineup. He's coming from the G League. You're looking like a fucking, what are you doing, Stephen A.? That shit is not cool. That shit looks troll like Mace. Are you seeing he doesn't? Okay, we all know what he's doing it for. He's doing it because it's LeBron. This is not product of interest right here. But the product of interest is he's LeBron's son. That's what we know that for. But that's not a real product of interest. Is like, give me something. Is he a top 10 pick? Is he starting on the lineup and he's LeBron's son coming out? No, he's trying to come. So you're just picking on the man. What are you even bringing up his stuff for? When he starts doing good, that's when you should make why would you do it when he's bad? And he's a second round pick near the end of the second round. You're picking on him. He's not Caitlin Clark. He didn't come in being the top person. I'm telling you, the only person more hated than Caitlin Clark right now in basketball is to another person's LeBron. But one is LeBron James. He didn't even come in as a player. He's trying to learn. He wants to play basketball. And so that's why I kind of really understand. Wade and shout out to Wade and Anthony, man, this some real homeboys, boy. They told the truth. They told how they felt, and they stuck up for Bronny. But it was at the price of being right. That's their boy. You could tell how they talked. That's some real. That's some proud shit. And they spoke real. Wade said Stephen A. is his boy. You know what I'm saying? They all spoke real. But out of all that shit, Stephen A., you didn't even get out of what you respected what they said. Did you hear what the hell they said? They would have came at your ass too. And Wade is your boy. Bron is not your boy. Wade is. So is that why you didn't come at Zaire Wade? Is that why? It's starting to look. Zaire got here before Bronny. And he didn't even get, he was on the G League. He didn't get drafted. None of that. None of that. We didn't hear nothing. Nothing. We don't even hear a peep about Cayenne. Not even a peep. Cayenne is better than both of them was at the time of them about to commit. Cayenne is better than Bronny was, and is better than Zaire was. And you still don't talk about none of them but Bronny. Do you see why he pissed the fuck off? Now it's starting to agitate him. Like, Nick, he sees the hurt in his son's eyes, or he sees the hard work and pain in his eyes and what he really wants to do. Now, him being a father, then when way Cam said it, he said, as a father, you coming personal. You're coming personal. And I don't want to hear that, oh, no, I wouldn't. Well, recognize what you're doing. You don't say that. I didn't even hear this. He said, as a father, what are you talking about? This is not analyst work. This is not basketball now. You don't make quotes like that. I want to say something disrespectful. I'm about to say at the end of it, but I have respect for Stephen A. But it almost got like heart. It almost hit me in the fucking heart. That's his son. What you think he gonna do? Bronny is not a top 10 player. He's not a top 20 player. He wasn't that in the draft. Okay. What people wanted before the draft happened. The man never got rated that high. He never got to play that good at all. So now he's drafted near the end of the second round. And you mean to tell me he's the topic of discussion? Because he's LeBron's son? That's a pick on. That's a pick. Listen, that's not analyst work. You product of interest. It's supposed to be something that's interest. Why? That's not, no. If he starts doing good as LeBron's son, then you talk, not why he's down there. He wasn't the number one pick. Number one pick, get that. Number one pick, get that. Number one pick gets that. Number one pick gets that pressure. A top 10 pick gets that pressure. Especially if you're straight out of high school, that type of player. One and done. Like, come on. He's not even like, listen, it doesn't even make sense. We're having these topics for no reason. Because he shouldn't be there. He should be able to focus on being a player, come up being good. I mean, there's a lot of guys. I mean, they're not following Justin Edwards around. And he was a top 3 high school recruit. And now he's on the floor. And they're not following him around. They're not following him around. So this is all a personal attack. Because if you say just listen to the quote, LeBron's son, that's a personal attack. That's not looking at him to see if he's going to be good or nothing. Because that warrants a top 10 look. This is all wrong. Like, sports is wrong. And then, I remember Treasure Wilson, shout out to Treasure Wilson, she did a good, she analyzed, like she said, because of the platform of what it is a lot of people are saying whatever they want to say and not looking at what they say. And that's right. She said something to that effect. I'm sorry, that might have been exact words, but shout out to Is What It Is. That's what she said to that effect. That because it is what it is, it's a different type of platform. They're the culture. They get to say, Mason Cam get to say what they want to say. But at the same time, y'all can't do that. Don't say F you now. No, you see the ratings coming from these stations, and now this is what you get from that type. You're not that type. No, you're not that type. And it is what it is has to deal with confrontation too, but people pretty much know that it is what it is a different type of show. So they know you're going to, now you trying to say, expect, no, it's jail and it's Yale. You're supposed to be Yale. You're the person that tells on, Stephen A., you're the person that tells on people that do stuff on court. Like, oh, I called the league up and you do that. You're Yale. You're Yale. This is jail. Now, I'm not saying that's just a description of it. So it is what it is. I'm not saying jail, you're jail, like this jailhouse, but they're rough. They're more rough. They say shit. People like Pat McAfee. It's different shit. It's crazy, man. I don't see why Stephen A. don't realize this. He's a father himself. So you wouldn't care, huh? We know that now. So we're going to take it like that. If your daughter, everywhere she goes, she's picked on because I'm talking about it gets crazy. People spitting at her, people throwing shit at her, like because she's Stephen A's, and they feel sometimes maybe it's LeBron fans. Is that supposed to be warranted or great? I think he has daughters. Listen, your family, anybody. Like we're just talking. This is a young man who just got off. I remember Cam was also. It kind of got to me on that point a little bit. I mean, he just got off heart surgery and shit, and let the man play. Like I know what Carmelo was saying about this is job and Wade, but also warrant this. You're not supposed to be talking like this. I'm sorry, Wade. And no, this isn't basketball. He isn't the top 10 pick. Top 10 picks get followed like that. First round picks, not bottom of the second round picks. It's because he's LeBron's son does not give you the quote to go after somebody. It doesn't give you that. It doesn't give you the authority. It doesn't. It doesn't. Sorry, it doesn't. He has to be warranted with the status. For you to say the things you're saying, I mean, constantly going at this man. Constantly. He could be getting whatever minutes he get or whatever. Then when he doesn't get his he played against this team. Why are you judging him like he was a top 10 pick? Oh, look at this. Who was it? Mace was like, I don't want to say. Shout out to Mace and them, but listen, you're going to say you didn't want to say nothing bad because he went against this team and this happened and he what's the one Trista? She said he was negative 36. So what? He's a young man coming up. He got 17 after his negative 36. Why would you bring that up? You know he's not going to get these warranted. He don't have top 7 minutes. This man scored 17. That's what you can use when a person has negative 36 on a team, and you can always use 17 points and 5 assists with never 36. But you got the rest of the team got to be good. You're not dependent on the 17 and 5, are you? I got to say that since somebody want to say negative 36, Jesus Christ. You want to give a person in the G League who was a dog. Do you realize how crazy y'all sounding right now? He didn't ask for that attention. And people saying, oh, no, it's not basketball. Everybody don't get that attention. What I mean why he didn't ask for that attention is that he was drafted to where he was drafted was not even balancing that attention. Why the fuck would you talk about a late second round pick? Because he's LeBron's son. That sounds stupid. He wasn't coming in here to be the starting point. Okay, I could see if he came in and he was the starting point guard because he about to get all the minutes. He gets all the attention. Then, now he's a starter. Is he getting the top 7 minutes on this team? Even LeBron said he was thinking about him going to, he said, I'm worried about him going to the G League and developing. Yo, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's super crazy, man. Listen, we about to go on a break. I just want to say where he's wrong at is the number one point where he's wrong at is that you're not supposed to be talking about it. He doesn't want that attention. He doesn't want the personal attacks. And then you was talking about if you fight LeBron. Stop this shit, man. Stephen A., stop. You're wrong. So now you're talking about, oh, wish you didn't fuck. Stephen A., for one, LeBron ain't fucked up about you. He's not. That's not nothing he's thinking about. Like it's like Jay-Z, squish you ants with a sledgehammer. Much love to Stephen A., but listen, you would have to prove that one. You've already picked on his son. You think I'm supposed to have your back about you fighting a Goliath nigga that's really mad about his son? His son. Like, what is wrong with you? And you're talking about he's a liar and all this shit. You shouldn't even open your mouth to make this a subject. So I don't care. I don't care what you're getting at this point. You asking for it. You're stepping into fire. You get burned. This is when you're tap dancing in fire. It's a no-win. You're talking about the man's son. Just shut up. Just shut up. He don't even start for a team. He's not doing none of that. That is over with. That should have been talked about before he entered, when he said he was going to the draft, or his intentions of entering the draft, and LeBron went to play. You talk about it, then you had time to talk about it. That should be over with. This should not be a subject now. He's not the star of a team. What are you doing? It looks crazy. And listen, I'm about to get on a break, and we'll be back to talk more about the draft for the Sixers and the draft for the Eagles, man. It's coming up, draft coming up in June for the Sixers. Talk about the fact that they could get a top pick. They could get a top 6 pick. Yes, we right there. It could happen. And also the Eagles, who I'm thinking them drafting, what's the smartest way to go here when we get back on Follow the Sports. Yeah. What up? We back. Yeah. Listen, man. Host with the most ever toast. You are back on Follow the Sports, and we are here to talk draft, man. I mean, I love doing my thing in the draft expert. No, but draft analyst, yes, draft. Love the draft, man. Let's talk the Sixers and Eagles drafts, man. Let's talk this. The Sixers, listen, it's real possible. And I was saying this about this shit. I mean, I was talking to my boy Cool Cat, man. And I was like, yo, we was talking about it. You know, he had the head down. I understand. Shout out to my boy Cool Cat. He does Bliss Take, does Birds on Broad Street. Listen, The Sixers can get a top 6 pick. They got a trade with the Thunder. It's more of that to be. Listen, if it's top 6, they'll have the Thunder's pick. If not, it belongs to the Thunder. If they get the top 6 pick this year, then they got to give a first round pick to the Thunder next year, and they have a possibility to have 3 first round picks next year, y'all. Yes, yes. Philly is listen, because they if they don't have their pick, they're going to have some other first round picks. They'll have at least 2 out of 3. You know what I'm saying? They'll have at least 2 next year for sure. So the big thing about this year is that this is why I think this is some. Listen, y'all can say what y'all want, and I know I ain't trying to put nothing out there, but man, it's looked too orchestrated. They signed Paul George to his big contract. They signed Joel Embiid to an extension. They signed Tyrese Maxey to an extension. This year, you thinking, well, maybe title contention, man. We looking, you know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, everything collapses. Joel Embiid all of a sudden can't even play. Paul George can't even play. Like they can't stay on the floor. I know you hear people talking all that about him. Well, that's a good throwaway because now people would think, oh, these guys are washed up. Just listen to me. That's something that the league wouldn't look into. Oh, they just sitting these motherfuckers because they hurt. Nah. But they would look into like, look, these niggas is hurt. They gone. And then there's more the wash up shit. And then the Philadelphia can get a lottery pick. I was saying this after, at first I was like, give them a little time. I told Cool Cake, look, they'll rev back up. Man, they ain't did shit. And now this look like, because everybody's taking breaks off. Maxey not even playing. Everybody's taking breaks off now. Like, the injuries are that serious. All of them. Every single one. All of a sudden, they traded Khalid Martin. You're looking at everybody like, all right, whatever. It seemed like this is what happened. They came to the season. Paul, look, we going to have a little fallback year. Joel, we're going to have a fallback year. Tyrese, we're going to have a fallback year. And they went ahead and told them before the season started. Now they done traded Khalid Martin. We'll see what happened with Robert Selly. He could get signed. We'll see what happened. But I think they signed him because they would have traded him. But you see next year coming in. Now you in the lottery. And this lottery, like I say, Philadelphia just needs a power forward. Go hard power forward. Robert Selly could be signed to be a backup guy. That would be crazy. Just think about this. All they need is a power forward. If Robert Selly gets signed, we'll see. But all he is a power forward. Once again, Ace Flag and Ace Bailey are in the draft. Top 5 picks. Cooper's number 1. And if Philly gets anywhere in the top 5, top 6, gets a top 6 pick, they could trade that motherfucker up, get one of the draft picks from next year, straight up, trade it. Straight up and trade the pick, and get a Cooper Flag. I think Philly is going for Cooper Flag. Either they're going to go for Coop or they're going to get Ace. Because if somebody, number 1, says, listen, we want the generational talent that is Cooper, we're not trading it. But if Philadelphia, listen, I'm thinking this guy, Ace Cooper or Ace is going to be in Philly. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say, man. Cooper Flag or Ace Bailey will be in Philly. That is it. I'm putting it down right now. This is the go for. This is the go-to. If they get a top 6 pick, they're not keeping their pick. If they moving up to 1 or 2, they're going to get Cooper Flag or Ace Bailey. And I'll be happy with either one. Listen, Cooper is a generational talent, but Ace Bailey is one of them type of scorers. He's like a Kevin Durant scorer. So you're going to look at this draft and you're going to get some people. Dylan Harper's going to be an all-star. He's going to be something special. There's nothing about it. Nothing. The top 10 in this draft is stupid nice. And then you got a great international draft class. So Philly can listen. Philly don't care. They care about winning now. And what I'm saying about next year, you got Jared McCain and you got Tyrese Maxey. Quentin Grimes is going to get a contract. That's not even a question. That's not even a thought. Like Quentin Grimes is going to get a contract, man. That is totally get out of here. Get out of here. He's getting. They ain't gonna. He's not letting them walk. Robert Shelley could. We'll see what happens. Right now, let's look at this team that I'm talking about. The way Quentin Grimes playing, it's kind of hard to say where it's going to end up. But if Paul George, people are saying we're going to get these scenarios. Paul George is scenarios that Paul George, people are saying that the Sixers will try to trade him this offseason. If that happens, okay, Quentin Grimes is a small forward, and we're talking about Cooper or Ace at power forward. We're talking about real quick lines for y'all right now. Joel Embiid, he's there. Jared McCain and Tyrese Maxey. Would y'all look at their fucking starting five? If you put Cooper in there with Quentin Grimes and Joel Embiid, it's make you laugh. Tyrese Maxey and Jared McCain. Jesus, and you got guys like Justin Edwards and Doughton coming off the bench. These young guys can play. They can go get it. So you know they can score. And you got Adam Bona. Then you still got Kelly Oubre here. Andre Drummond's coming back for another year. You know what I mean? Listen, they got some good vets. If we're saying these guys as special as they are, you put Quentin Grimes and Cooper Flag. That would just put them with Joel Embiid. That team is crazy. Jared McCain. You've never seen a scoring starting five like that. You've never seen a storm. And let's talk about Ace Bailey. What if they get Ace Bailey? And then you say, okay, what if they don't trade Paul George? This is what I think. Paul George is two things that can happen. Either they get Cooper Flag or get Ace Bailey, and they start. And Paul George is right there, and you get Quentin Grimes. Still give him a contract because he's not going. Quentin Grimes is not going to get maxed out. He's not $40 million. He's not getting that. He's not maxing out. The most Quentin Grimes I think could get maybe. Listen, the way he's playing, the highest would be $20 million. Get that man his money too. I think. Listen, whatever they got, get that man their money. Let him prove himself for 3 years, and then see if he can get the. You know what I'm saying? Give him a 3-year deal, $20 million, 3 years, $60 million. Bow. Let's put him on the bench and let him eat. Let him eat. Let him eat. He's the man. He gonna get 20 a game off the bench. You know he can. Or let him play the 4. Let Cooper Flag come off the bench. Or Ace Bailey come off the bench. Why I say let Paul George play the 4? Because Paul George is 6'8", can defend the 4. And he could fall back and just be a guy that can pass the ball. He can still shoot the ball, shoot the rock. But he can't play at the quick level of energy. But he can still score on you, man. This man can get you 18 easy, 17. I say 17 easy, 17 points easy. Pass the ball, pass the rock. Can play defense. A vet who can light it up for 30 sometime because the pressure's not on him to do 20, 22 every game. But I still think Paul George has it. Just a real, fallback. I think this is I'm telling you, it's a lot of scenarios. Y'all look at this podcast. Go back where I say the Sixers probably did. The one scenario I said they probably fell back this year. It just for everybody to crumble down. Everybody, even Tyrese Maxey. What is he doing? Why is he not playing? Kelly Oubre. A lot of people just it's over. That's it. Once Jared McCain went down and Joel Embiid was going down, he was getting hurt. But I think with these injuries, I'm telling y'all right now, because we ain't seen Joel Embiid on this year. He didn't like he went down hurt. Joel Embiid is falling back, man. So is Paul George. I don't care what that is my assumption. And they was going to go. This is a talented year. They're going to go in this draft, and they was going to get it. And they was going to add what they needed to this team now, making it young. Because now, with the team that they have, Quentin Grimes, Tyrese Maxey, not Cooper Flag yet, Tyrese Maxey, Jared McCain, Quentin Grimes, Adam Bona, Justin Edwards, Jeff Doughton. Look at these young men. Their bench is going to be just all scorers, go-getters. All go-getters. That's how that's going to end up and turning out. So I just feel like this team now, the big thing I want to go through now, from the Sixers. Let's go to the Eagles. The Eagles, man. I'm gonna be doing a lot more analyst work leading up to June for the Sixers draft. It's gonna be exciting. I think Daryl Morey is a very smart guy, and I think he knows what he's doing. Going for the Eagles, Donovan Ezeriku. Okay, I'm sorry. He's an edge rusher from Boston College, big time guy, big time pass rusher. Okay, 21 sacks, 8 forced fumbles in his 4-year career. This is a guy that could be a guy that they could really listen. I always say edge rusher or defensive tackle, and the third I say offensive tackle. But it seems like the offensive line is a real big priority for them. Elijah Roberts is another guy that sounds. Listen, he has 17 and a half sacks in 2 seasons, 24 tackles for loss, a defensive edge rusher. Another guy looking at that could be Maxwell Hurston. I'm not looking at cornerbacks, but listen, if a guy's that good. Guy that good at cornerback. You get, I think, the best talent with this type of team. The best talent available is so big right now. Like, I'm serious, man. Like, the best talent available is big right now for this team. Because they're not only they're a Super Bowl team, they are deep. They're deep, and they're deep and they're young. So Maxwell Hairston can fall back. I mean, you got Kelly Ringo, you got Cooper. Dejean, you got Quinyon Mitchell. Damn, right? Now you're looking at another guy that could come in there and sit back. You want to keep good cornerbacks, and that is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Looking at the next guy that I feel, Josh Connolly, I like him. Now, I like him as an offensive lineman, he's offensive tackle, they're saying, and he's a guy that stood up against good performers at a good combine. Listen, he did the work against Abdul Butler. You know what I mean? Played with Oregon. Listen, the guy, only thing I say, our tackles are usually like around 6'7", 6'8", 6'6". So 6'4", 6'5", small to me, Marcus Embo, offensive lineman, guard, another guy. Listen, anybody with Stoughton and they're highly ranked, put him in there. I'll give you a chance if you fucking with Stoughton. He's that good. He has that type of resume. Looking at what they have, Anthony Belton is another guy. Jalen Travis is another guy. Offensive line, big. Jalen Travis is a big guy. Belton 6'6". So you're looking at all these players that you just got to look at who they're going after. Just watch, presumably who they're going for. I feel like Philadelphia is just going to have good drafts, and you're really excited to see what they do. No, I'm serious. You're excited to see what Philadelphia do, man. That's how good they've been in the draft the last 4 years. Last 4 years, they've been immaculate. You don't know who they're going to mess around. They might come up with a player, make a trade in the draft for a player. I mean, think about it. Is it a possibility Philadelphia could go all the way to 32, ask for Micah Parsons, and get him in Philadelphia? Because you know what? The crazy part is you could put Micah Parsons at DE and put Jalen Hunt as the edge. Like you could have a retarded edge. I mean, it's really, but the thing is, they're not with Philadelphia's options. They're probably like, we can just wait and see what happens with this team. We got good players on this team. Jalen Hunt's going to be a star, man. He's wow. Him and Smith next year. Oh my God. That's why they were so cool with letting people like Sweat go. Like Moro Jomo, this guy's good. I mean, he was putting pressure on fucking Mahomes. Him and Hunt. Just like Sweat and Williams was, or him and Hunt. It's like there's nothing you can really do. This team's good. So now you're looking at the draft and you're looking at what Philadelphia's trying to get. My thing is right now with the first round, and I think in this draft that they're still going to get an edge rusher. They're going to get an offensive lineman. I think they're going to get a tackle on the guard. I think Philly is not going to lay off the pressure of They're going to get a tackle and they're going to get a guard. No question. I think a tackle and a guard is going to come. And pause. And so tackle, edge rusher, who I think they get first, that's totally up in the air. And don't be surprised if Philly gets a first player available. Maxwell Harrison, but I don't think Maxwell Harrison is number one, which I'm pretty sure he's like if he's available with like day 3, they're gonna those type of guys they'll go for. Looking at who the visits are going at right now it's still almost April. So the draft is coming up. So you just got Josh Connolly's a big player. I think Stoutland is looking at, Johnson has the extension. They don't have a guard. It's up in the air. Kenyon Green is there. Tyler Steen is there. They want it to be a competition, and they want to have all the depth in the world for Saquon Barkley. So they're about to have some dogs, and then you're going to have people in the back. You still got Trevor Keegan. You still got the boy they had the same place they got Jordan Mailata. They had like an international prospect, something like that. They got this big guy. You got to be intrigued by what Stoutland did with Mailata that he could do with him, because this guy's big. I forgot his name. I'll get it to y'all. I think it start with an L. But it's an offensive lineman they got that was with the practice squad. It was with the team last year. Came with the team, but he was an international prospect like Mailata went through the same program. I'm trying to they like to have depth. Like I say, for Saquon Barkley, they want him to survive everything. They don't want no problems. So they might get him in the first round, the offensive lineman. They don't get he better be sitting back in the trenches getting better. Just like Steen. Listen, Steen ain't they everybody talking about, he gonna start. Listen, remember what Becton did? You remember what Bond did to White. There's no expected starter. He wants the best player to win in camp. And Kenyon Green is pressure because he's a 15th pick overall. And the best guard in that draft, manhandles people. And look what he did with Becton, who was like top number 11 pick in the draft. A big player was able to switch him to guard. Do you feel like this? I think Kenyon Green is a problem, but Tyler Steen is still, he's an elite player. He is. I think people don't understand how good he is. We'll see. But Anthony Belton's come up 6'6". Josh Connolly. We'll just see how these guys, I'm just intrigued by those two names as far as the offensive linemen. As pass rushers, Elijah Rodgers, I like him. I'll go with Donovan. Donovan's good. What's an edge rusher? Listen, they got Josh Esch and they got Aziz Al-Illusory. I'm saying it right. Aziz from the Georgia Bulldogs, big time player, big time young player. Josh Esch played with Michigan in college. They played against competition. They've been successful in this go round. Look, he's had 11.5 sacks. Josh Aziz had eight his highest in his career. It was 8. So you're talking about a guy, and he came in as rookie and broke the rookie record. But like these dudes are eaters. So you put him with Jalen Hunt and Nolan Smith, those 4 guys are going to be on the rotation. And you still, right now, it's still a Bryce Huff. So you got these guys who have all had 10, near 10 sacks. The lowest was 8. And then you got Nolan Smith, who's just coming off a career 6.5 sack year, really 10, that was including the playoffs. And we're talking about, like, that is going to be a crazy pass rush. People are not talking. Listen, those more Jomo. This is going to be athletes. These guys are always acing the combine. The Jomo, Smith, acing the combine. Hunt performing in all-star games to the combine. These guys are monsters. And it's going to be exciting to see them all young and new and tragic. Patrick Johnson, we'll just see. I'm not really expecting much. He's always been the best team guy. I think he'll get his rounds to go, edge rush. We'll see what it is because I think he was really elevating at the time when he left. I don't know if he got cut and then somebody picked him up. He was a big time pass rusher in college, so he has it. So it's going to be something to see. And he's at the bottom of those guys, to produce. So, and then you got the cornerbacks now. Then you got 4 cornerbacks who they're gonna go get it. This Philadelphia Eagle team with the cornerbacks and then the pass rushers, Josh Aziz. People don't understand what they're doing. And these 1-year proven deals. It's dogs. It's dogs, and you're putting meat in front of them. You're putting meat in front of these boys. Meat. And to earn more money. This is the time to prove yourself. It's big. It's going to be something. Listen, y'all, I'm about to be out, man. I'm sorry. I don't mean to spill over too much for y'all, man. I could do this all the time. I'm going to be back. Villanova Radio. I got a lot, man. So much going on. Prospect camps, junior days, virtual visits, so much going on, spring practices. So it's a lot going on between Penn State and Villanova, and I'm covering a lot of other football colleges. It's crazy right now, man. But I had to get back with y'all, man. I'm gonna get back real big time soon. I'm getting the studio, new studio, fixed up for visuals and all that, so I can work and get my stuff going. New space, man. Love y'all, appreciate y'all, man. This is Leader Johnson, and I'm out, y'all.